let's bring on, someone more enlightening who's worked with recycled plastics, who's worked with one of the largest corporations in Norway. And she's going to talk a little bit more about her experience working with green transition. So without any further ado, I give you Runa, who will be joining us here on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Runa.
Mark the edge on our internet browser.
Okay.
Down to the left.
Edge on the bottom.
All right.
Circle.
Is it there?
Left.
It's here?
Yeah, there.
That one.
That one.
Yeah?
Yeah, okay, cool.
Thank you.
Am I not seeing this?
To the right. All the way to the right. Right. Other right.
The other right.
Yeah.
Okay, hi. So my name is Runa Haug Khoury. I have a long background in environmental technologies and business. The past 10 years I've been with Bellona, that some of you may know, and the past 5 years I have been building green business in Aker. I am right now under my own flag, working independently, and speaking today on the key learnings from the ION journey that we did in Aker. I'm still remaining the biggest fan of ION, although I've handed on the CEO baton. So ION, which is Greek, means eternity, is a plastic circularity startup that we created to that actually spun out of Aker's own business or plastic challenges. So I don't know how many of you are familiar with Aker. I'm assuming most of you are, given where we are, but it's one of the biggest industrial groups in Norway. Has primarily built its wealth on oil and gas, but is also building a lot of businesses into what we call the green industries now, to diversify, as Norway as well should do. So in Aker BioMarine, which is one of the biggest Aker companies, one of the listed companies, we were listing the Aker BioMarine onto the stock exchange. We were also working to set some tangible improvement targets for Aker BioMarine as a company, like the footprint of Aker BioMarine as a company. And we were setting some 2030 targets on a range of impact areas that the company has on the world around. And one of them was plastic waste. One of the biggest waste streams that Aker BioMarine as a company has is plastic waste streams. So if you have a look at the second bulk here, in Aker BioMarine, we were purchasing a lot of new high-quality plastic, all virgin plastic. We bought it, we used it in a fully linear way, like tore it at every time we used it, and then paid to deposit it. So both from an environmental point of view, but also from a business economic point of view, we wanted to see, is there any way we can actually find an offset for this plastic material, this plastic waste of high quality? We even knew the source. We knew there were companies downstream who wanted to have recycled plastic going into their value chain with a known source. So while trying to solve one of our problems in Aker, we actually saw a new business opportunity, thinking, for sure there will be lots of other big corporates with a lot of plastic waste or plastic products in their sort of operations, looking to find a solution to make a shift from virgin linear plastic use over to recycled or even maybe circular plastic use. So we started seeing in-house, decided to launch ION as a company at the end. And how can you address like trying to build kind of a new business model within plastic recycling? This hexagon shows basically the core of ION's operations. We really try to kind of orchestrate plastic circularity on behalf of the value chain that is needed to go from plastic waste to mechanical recycling through to sort of new products and back into new customer use. So we built a company out of our own problem, started up a new company which was good at doing this value chain orchestration, which is really a lot about logistics, material competence in plastics. We developed a tech platform collecting data in every part of this value chain. One of the key reasons for that was that the whole kind of value chain for recycled plastic has some trust issues, actually. There was a lack of transparency, very low digitalization, as the previous speaker was pointing to, and also some trust issues, particularly in this sort of waste management part of the value chain. So what we really invested into was Ion Loop, which is a kind of like a digital twin of the physical value chain for recycled plastics. If you manage to actually close the loop, taking plastic waste, repurposing this plastic waste into new product life cycles, and then having these products go into use with new customers. If you really want to close the loop on big volumes of plastic, you also need to get these products back at the end of life to repurpose that plastic again and again and kind of close the loop of big volumes of plastic, and sort of tap the need a little bit for having new plastic sort of flowing into the economy all the time. So we did that. We got quite a few cool customers with big plastic volumes. For example, McDonald's, Veidekke, a whole range of different types of customers. And this digital twin also actually adds a lot of value in today's society, where we are sort of moving towards more regulatory tightening on more and more environmental areas, which is great. I don't know how familiar you are with the plastic value chain, but for more and more products, there is coming a regulatory tightening on digital product passports. So basically that each product, for example, made by plastic, needs to have a digital product passport demonstrating where the materials are coming from. So these kind of regulatory tightenings coming from politicians, as the previous speakers, are very important to actually create these markets for new and more and greener solutions within plastics and within a lot of other fields as well. So Ion Loop, this digital twin, collecting data in all parts of the plastic value chain, what does it provide to a customer? Well, overall, it helps our customers comply with new regulations, actually having a digital product passport of their own plastic product portfolio. It provides traceability to see that actually this plastic is in fact recycled. It's not just some flaw, it's not just like a greenwashing claim. It documents the impact effect. There's a massive impact effect of replacing virgin plastic with recycled plastic. For the mechanical recycling of plastic versus plastic made from new oil, on the European grid mix on average, we estimate an 80% CO2 reduction in a mechanically recycled kilo of plastic versus a newly produced from oil plastic. So, for example, Carl's here, which is the furniture company you might know. McDonald's, another great example. When McDonald's, with their trays, for example, which was an Ion product, if they replace 1 kilo of virgin plastic in their value chain with mechanically recycled, they would have an 80% CO2 reduction on that kilo in their scope 3 emissions, for those of you who are really into the gritties of carbon reporting for companies. Yeah, Ion works with customers from multiple industries. You will know some of these brands. This is from Q1 2023, so there have been added a few since then. Cool. Last slide. My invitation here was to share some experiences to other entrepreneurs as to scaling a cleantech startup. So that is what I'm landing in. I hope this is relevant for some of the audience. Are there anyone working in other startups here? Cool. So I might be preaching to the choir then, but these are at least the learnings we took away from Aker. One of the key learnings from the first, I was CEO and the first employee for the first 3 years of the company's life, since we put it into the world until I handed the baton over to the guy who used to be my CFO. Sales efforts cannot be underestimated. Customer enthusiasm and piloting is kind of easy if you have a green or any sustainable solution. I think you'll find this with customers. That is not the same as closing a sale at a good margin and scale. Piloting also is very necessary, but neither helps you, create a really profitable business. It's really, really important to focus on sales with volumes and margins. So we perfectionated the technical concept at the beginning, and we were sure we had this, like fully idiot-proof, ideal concept, but then we didn't spend enough time customer front to understand that actually we needed to be much more flexible in meeting their needs. So spending all the time possible customer front, applying to all roles, even our tech people, we put them customer front. If you're developing technical, either digital or physical assets, I think it's important to keep technical ownership in-house and be very flexible and pivoting to meeting the market. If any of you are fundraising, which I have been doing also a lot, you will know that it's a difficult landscape right now, at least for the green startups. It's more difficult than it was a few years ago. I think it's really important to anchor well a realistic business plan with you and the board and new investors as well, and really seek to scale on a cost base as light-footed as possible. This will be obvious if you are not a corporate startup. I mean, we have this gorilla Aker in our back, so we could afford to scale very rapidly. But I think it's still always a good thing to try and scale on the light cost base, at least right now. Small really is beautiful. We made that learning the hard way, and I think it is actually the best way to start the organization, to be very few and very flexible and have the full overview in a small team until there's actual product market fit and you actually have revenues coming from sales. So you can scale on a more healthy and realistic sort of cash flow analysis. And then anyone working in the startup will know that so much hangs on the right team. This is like a cliche almost, but it is very true. Even the kind of corporate startups, we saw this. They need to balance innovative, creative profiles with the structured execution people, and also people that can live with the big uncertainty that it is to take these kind of adventures to the world, and the world certainly needs them, and also to the market. Thank you. That was what I had. I hope it's relevant to start.